Thanks for staying with us. So Nigerians have had it pretty rough since the subsidy removal. Households, businesses struggling to survive with another rise to the PMS looming. Everything seems quite bleak right now. According to reports, petrol dealers stated that the pump price of petrol should be between 890 naira to 900 naira to the litre, based on the fall of the naira against the US dollar and the surge in the price of crude in the international market. Joining us on the show is the National President, Petroleum Products Retail Outlet Owners Association of Nigeria, that's Petron, Mr. Billy Julius Harry. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good to have you on the show. Yes, great to have you. Nigerians are quite concerned about this report that there's a possibility we might start having to buy petrol 900 naira to the litre. And I mean, reports are showing that even in the US, it's about $3.90, which is about 3,000 naira. And other African countries are selling it about 1,500 naira and 1,200 naira per litre. But here in Nigeria, we're still around that 500, 600 range. And it might be getting to 900. And Nigerians are really scared because most people cannot afford that. Could you give us an in-depth understanding of what's going on?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. My name is Dr. Billy Julius Harry. And the question that you have asked is a very topical one, and everybody in Nigeria has their eyes and ears on that. The fact that projections of petroleum products, especially PMS prices increase, is, I mean, it's a topical issue. And there is no telling the fact that subsidy removal and the lack of adequate forex will at all times impact on the price in a way that will seem to be negative in terms of pricing. So yes, 890 naira to 900 naira per litre projection may not be off the cuff, but we are also listening to the concern that is shown by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Bola Tinubu, who has also said that prices of PMS should not increase beyond where it is in 617 naira. So we are watching to see. So far, there is no indication from NNPCL as the major suppliers to our retail outlets that this pricing is going to happen, but that there is armchair projection of the fact that price can increase on 900 naira is not something that we should throw out of the window, because the naira is consistently falling behind in terms of competing with the US dollars. So that is the reality. Pricing, cost of crude oil, and lack of forex will be the things that will determine how petroleum product is priced.
Okay.
Okay, so Nigerians really want to know if subsidy is being paid now. You know, you just mentioned that the president said the price of petrol should not go beyond 600. But who is covering that difference? Is it now under recovery again? What exactly is happening and how do we go forward?
Well, I think you press people have a very critical role to play. I am playing my role as a citizen of Nigeria, as a senior citizen of Nigeria, as even a statesman, if I would say, in leading the Petroleum Product Retail Outlet Owners Association of Nigeria. I am actually putting myself out there to push for integrity, efficiency, and service that will make Nigeria's economy to grow. So what has Petrol done? We consistently try to do analysis on the subject, and we adequately call the government's attention to it and let them know the consequences of certain actions or certain inactions. So I just read in a tabloid, just like you probably read, that about 169 billion naira was paid. But I didn't see it in the major newslights. I didn't even listen to it on TVC. And TVC is a major mainstream media. So that tells us that it's probably a gossip that's coming in from somewhere that we need to interrogate.
All right.
Okay, so obviously a lot of Nigerians are worried about this, the speculation that the price of petrol would go to 900 and above. And I'm in the space where I think that that's the reality of a deregulated markets. It will respond to market forces. How do you think the government should handle this? Should they let it go free, truly free, or should they still be trying to
A subsidy.
create a subsidy window provide ease for the Nigerian populace? Which do you think will benefit us long term and as a country with our current economy?
Well, first of all, that petroleum product price will rise should not be, it shouldn't be a rocket science for anybody, because the prices of the input, materials to refine PMS is not static. So certainly, if it's moving up or down, prices will also move up or down. And as far as removing the regulation is concerned, we in Petrol supported the removal of subsidy, but we gave certain preconditions that we thought our government should do. And we didn't see those actions being taken seriously. And that's why I think we're where we are. So Petrol is the last mile in distribution value chain. So we interact. We buy from NNPCL, that's the main supply, and then we interact with the last buyer on the street, including the housewife, the machine driver, the keke rider, even the president's office, or even the minister's offices. We serve petrol to all of them. So we should have quite a lot of information that should be useful for policy making. But however, we did not see those things being done. So we are where we are. Now, what do we project? What do we advise? There should be an emergency declared to prepare and activate and make sure that the refineries existing in Nigeria are all working. And there is no reason we shouldn't do that. If we can have a projected 7 trillion naira debt to pay for subsidy, there is no reason why we cannot project for that 7 trillion naira to repair all the refineries. And I emphasize all the refineries, because we as an association, we are working towards partnering with the government to even take over 1 or 2 of the refineries to make sure that we can produce certain quantity of PMS, ATK, AGO, different derivatives of crude oil, to be in the domestic market and try to make sure that it works. So for me, subsidy payment should not return to the market, because it doesn't help us. We've already, prior to now, projected that 7 trillion naira will be required to subsidize PMS alone. So that money can be directed to be used for other very valuable issues that will make Nigeria a better place.
Yeah. So my question now is to the oil marketers like you. I mean, subsidy, no subsidy, Nigerians are crying about prices back and forth. But, this is an industry that has to earn money. You're not, you're a capitalist industry. You're there to make profit. And when you say that you're part of those who, agree that subsidy should be taken off, and yet we have many Nigerians, as you know, who are unable to afford this product with the prices just skyrocketing. How would that affect business for you going forward? And then there's another thing that Nigerians complain about, which is around the world, we see as the prices fluctuate up and down, but Nigeria, once price goes up, it stays up, no matter what else is happening around the world with the crude price or value of the naira.
Well, the reason why Nigeria is like that is simple. When price of petroleum products is fixed by the policymakers, certainly if it goes up, the only reason it will come down again is another policy that says we'll sell at social price. For instance, today, marketers that would have been engaged in bringing additional petroleum products are not doing so because they cannot land products that will be over 600 naira, 700 naira per litre. And the policy says they cannot sell at above 617 naira. So that is an issue. Now, as far as profit making is concerned, we have several regulatory agencies that should ensure that the marketers don't run away with putting prices that are very, very harsh and very, very inhuman to Nigerians. We are Nigerians. We have wives, we have children, we have different kinds of people in the society. So we are very conscious also of the fact that our actions or inactions will impact positively or negatively in the consistent growth of the economy. So we will not, at any time, I'm saying it on authority and my integrity, that we will not engage in price fixing that will make Nigerians to suffer.
Okay.
What is required is...
Okay, let me take this call from Etsu. He's been holding for a minute. Good morning, Etsu. You're live.
Yeah, well, what we have requested is that we have the NNPCL that is regulating.
Hello.
Good morning, Morai.
Good morning, Etsu. Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. Good morning. I want to appreciate you all because we really appreciate your program, Morai.
Thank you, sir.
But if we are talking about subsidies, believe me, majority of Nigeria, we don't understand what is going on. We all want these subsidies to be removed, all Nigerians. But again, the way things are going, we don't understand. When we had that on August, federal government pay subsidy. This is what you are asking the spokesperson because I don't understand what he's saying, sir. You need to explain to Nigeria, is it the truth? Because the news was flying that you pay subsidy about 160-something billion. And if actually the subsidy is still existing, we will not be happy. We want the federal government to remove the subsidy, but Nigerians are suffering.
All right, thank you, Etsu. What he's saying that he has not confirmed that story in any of the main news agencies. Even we haven't. We just heard also it on blogs all over social media. So wait for the government to officially inform us indeed if they've started paying subsidy. Coming back to our guest, Mr. Julius Harry, are you still there?
I'm here with you.
You see, there's something, I wanted to ask you a question from the layman's terms, because many Nigerians are hearing, okay, by December, Port Harcourt refinery will start working. Dangote, we are expecting in the next few weeks to start producing. People are thinking, maybe let's just say our mind is in fantasy land, in such that once these guys start refining within, we don't need to, we're not obligated, therefore, to OPEC or the price, international prices. Maybe, so if internationally dollar, crude is it 900 or 9-something naira to the dollar to the naira, to per crude per barrel. In Nigeria, because we are refining it to be 500 naira or 300 naira per litre or something. Because that's the mindset the average man out there has, that because we are refining locally, automatically we will do our pricing to be affordable for Nigerians. Is that the reality? Or do you think Nigeria will still have to be obliged or to be obligated to OPEC's price fixing internationally?
Well, first of all, I think this matter should go beyond speculation. There should be factual roundtable investigation, and I think you, the media, should lead in this. Because I heard what the gentleman who intervened said, that he doesn't even understand what's going on in the country, and that he doesn't really understand. Well, thank you for clarifying to him that we, in our position today, cannot verify whether subsidy was paid or not. So thanks. Now, let me say this. If we not interrogate this matter frontally, and as citizens provide solutions that will make our country better, we will be sinking. And we need to be very careful about what is happening in other climes. We need to be very careful. There are places, countries such as Venezuela, that today is having critical issues on the same fossil fuel mismanagement. So we as Nigerians, you can't ourselves lucky that as of today, we haven't got to that stage. So we need to take steps.
Thanks for staying with us. We still have our guest with us. Nima had a question.
Oh, okay. So
Hello, sir. Are you still there?
I'm here.
Okay,
I'm
good.
here.
we understand the responsibility of the media to probe these things, but we're also hoping that, you know, insiders, people who have influence, would have some grounds that they can give us from where to start. Because as it is now, no announcement has been made. Just as we question these things on the show every day. But what exactly would you say government should do going forward? Because we know that there's this difference that is unaccounted for right now. Presently, it's not giving any name. What would you advise government to do going forward?
What I think government should do, the subsidy has been removed from the 29th of May. And from May to now, there should have been substantial time to review what needed to be done even before the formal announcement of subsidy. And then what should be done in the course of the process of doing the subsidy regime. And then what should happen after. Government should take steps to really get very honest stakeholder meeting on this, including the consumers. And we should advise the committees that have been set up to work on this. Obviously, giving bags of rice has not brought solution to the removal of subsidy. Because what we should be talking about is, can we make sure that our mass transit system is efficient? The CNG buses that are being promised, can we hasten to make sure that CNG gas project is sustainable and it is established? And can we ensure that our rail system is immediately functional? We have existing rail lines. When I was a young child, we used to move from Port Harcourt to Sokoto just for weekends to see our brothers or friends who are in the federal government school there. So those lines have not been removed. We can quickly utilize what is the existing infrastructure to make sure that we can do so much mass transit by rail. The production of PMS in Nigeria should be a thing of urgent attention. Refineries, at least minimum, Port Harcourt and Warri, should be working immediately. So that's what I think can be done. And then we look at, we are running our PMS business based on dollar. And then we are having naira to buy. So certainly we need to also work on what kind of exports we can be making to earn more dollars instead of just depending on crude oil. I think these are the immediate solutions that.
Thank you, sir.
You know, I totally agree with you, sir, that we all sort of knew that the subsidy removal was sort of like very sudden. It didn't seem like there was a lot of thought put into it. And over the past, the remaining months, no, it was an opening speech, subsidy gone. So it was sudden.
Yes,
very sudden. So, but over the past few months, a lot should have been done to help prepare, cushion the Nigerian populace to be able to handle the challenges. So 100% support you. And I'm hoping that while we're waiting for the government, that your people in your own association will do the part that they can, which is to maybe get more CNG converters available in the markets, because the more we have, probably we'll be able to afford prices more. Is there any indication as to CNG converters being more available for the buses and public transport able to convert to CNG?
As an association, prior to now, we had met with our members across the country. Out of our teaming members, 7,000 of them gave nod to give either their retail outlets as a place where daughter stations can be established, or the facilities of conversion can be set up in their various locations. This is heavily capital intensive. And what we had expected was that the government should come in with intervention funds for this, not on charity, but on a very strict business basis that could be recovered immediately based on work. And also, this subsidy now that's been touted that is there, we could apply it to reduce the cost of conversion. Conversion, first of all, for commercial vehicles, and then later on for luxury vehicles that, so that are packed in so many homes today without being used. So what we have done is provide the facilities, provide the willingness, come up with strategies and ideas on how to deploy this as fast as possible. Government's duty is to interface with us and to ensure that these ideas that we brought that are practicable do not go through too much bureaucratic, red tape, and then ensure that we are supported to bring that. For instance, Petrol has just signed an agreement with an Indian company to produce conversion kits. We have a company in in Italy.
Right.
Oh,
Frozen again.
nick of time.
Unfortunately, we have to wrap up on the show. I'm so sorry we have a freezing. But thank you so much, sir. We'll be speaking with Mr. Jili Harry. He's the president of Petrol. And sharing his thoughts on the issue of subsidy removal and how Nigerians are managing. Hopefully, we'll see how, if the government will pay subsidy or not. All right, that's all we can take on today's show. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.